Hello, everybody, and welcome to another brand new podcast on Boundary Line here. And today we're going to be discussing about another team that's in some sort of an issue here. I feel with their captain missing out the first few games and is down with an injury. And that is none other than the Kolkata Knight Riders, a brilliant team. They've had some brilliant seasons, but I feel this year, I don't know where they're going to stand, and to do that, I've got Sheldon Dougherty here, who's going to take us through how they did in the auction. Sheldon, do you think KKR did well in the auction? Are they in some sort of an issue here without Shreyas Iyer?
Yeah, Dil, I think KKR are in big trouble for me. I feel they didn't do enough in the auction, first of all. And then
Yeah,
to lose their captain on top of that is even more trouble. I mean,
yeah,
I think they've rewarded some players too long. In
yeah,
my opinion, I feel Andre Russell and Sunil Narine, legends, of the game. But I think it was time for them to move on. I think because, let's be honest, last couple of years, they haven't been at their best. Andre Russell, it seems every time we enter a tournament, his wrist is injured, his leg is injured. Oh, is
yeah,
he fit? It
yeah,
always feels like that happens. And I feel KKR have relied too much on these guys. And
yeah.
I felt this was the year they needed to move on from them, but they didn't. They did make few good, signings though. They brought in
Yep,
Dillon Das, who's
yeah,
playing his first IPL season, and Shakib who's back
back,
for
yeah,
KKR as well. And Lockie Ferguson's also back at KKR after a
yeah.
while. So those were some good signings still. What do you think about KKR though?
Yes, I feel this year they may struggle, Sheldon. Without Shreyas Iyer, he's an important part of that team, I would say. And yes, without him, the team is looking a bit weak. And so, from what we hear, it's Rana who's going to be the interim captain for KKR there. And yes, like you said, a few interesting ones that they've got from the auction there. But nevertheless, we'll take a look at the squad here, Sheldon, and we'll come back to that point on Andre Russell and Sunil Narine. Just want to state something on that. But let's have a look at the squad very quickly. We've got Venkatesh Iyer there and Jagadishan, who I think they've backed this time. I think in India, he scored a lot of runs there, for his Ranji team. They've got Shreyas Iyer, who will come back at some point.
Yep.
Nitish Rana is going to be the captain. They've got Andre Russell, David Wiese, and Shakib Al Hassan feature there in that middle order, both strikers of the ball there and can bowl really well. Shardul Thakur, an interesting one for them. They've got with the man with the golden arm, Lord Shardul,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
hopefully he can contribute to their team's success. They've got Lockie Ferguson and Tim Southee there, the guys from New Zealand. Sunil Narine, old warhorse there, has been an absolute champion, in IPL. His numbers are absolutely phenomenal, Sheldon. Then they've got Umesh Yadav, Varun Chakravarti, and they've got a few interesting other signings, like you said, Sheldon. Litton Das, they've got that as well. Mandeep Singh, Rinku Singh, also, I remember last year played an absolute blinder in one of
Yep.
those last few games for them. So he would be an interesting one in this year's IPL, right? And so where do you see them going where in that batting order?
I think Mandeep Singh could come in. I feel he's looked a good player when he's been there. Mandeep Singh, I feel like he could fit in somewhere in that middle order, maybe in place of Shreyas Iyer, because they need someone to bat at three to
Mm-hmm.
start with, for the time being. Or maybe they'll push Rana up to three and, one of them has to come in
Yeah,
at four. So I think either Rinku or Mandeep would come in there at four. I think Rinku, though, you said, right, he played some
yeah,
blinders last season.
yeah,
So maybe
yeah,
he would get first chance in that middle order. So he could play. And I think their bowling attack isn't that bad, actually, when you look at it, right? They have some decent bowlers in there. And Lockie Ferguson and I think it's good that Thakur moved to KKR because
hmm,
I feel at Delhi he kind of had a lower role. Like he wasn't a
yeah,
big star there. You know what I mean? And I feel he
yeah,
likes the spotlight. So
yeah.
I feel him coming to KKR could be a good opportunity for him to, excel maybe.
Yeah, absolutely, Sheldon. Like you said, Shardul Thakur moving into this team can be a blessing in disguise for him and for
Yeah.
KKR as well. So interesting to see how they go about. Litton Das is one guy who's in absolute big form, Sheldon. So if he gets a few games there and if he starts scoring, then KKR will be a bit hard to stop. But I want to come back
Yeah.
to Andre Russell and Sunil Narine, Sheldon. Like you were mentioning, like. They've backed him for too long there. I know what you said, but these guys, they've been in the IPL for so long. So they know how to win those games there. And Sunil Narine, you can never write off, I feel, Sheldon. I mean,
Yeah.
that guy with the ball will just bowl 4 overs, 18 runs,
Yeah.
or something like that, and will just go unnoticed. But Andre Russell, like you said, is a big issue for them. I expected them to go hard in the auction, to get some big all-rounder there that can fill in the shoes.
Yeah, and the thing is, I have nothing against Andre Russell. The problem for me is that he's never fit coming into the tournament. At
Yes.
least if he was like fully fit, I think he's unbelievable then. His hitting ability and his pace bowling as well is really good when he's at his best and
Yeah.
he's fit. He's a reliable asset. But I feel also now that they held on to him, they weren't
Yeah.
able to go for a Sam Curran or a Ben Stokes or a
Yeah.
Cameron Green because they held on and they had, that price of Andre Russell in the team. So that's why
Absolutely
they
right.
went for a David Visa, who's also very good, by the way. He's doing
Yeah, of
really well
course.
right now.
Yeah.
So I think maybe he could start, in fact, as well, because I think he's very reliable.
Absolutely right there. So I feel David Vise might just get a few more games there than if Andre
Yeah.
Russell is not doing well. Important question, where do you see them finishing in this year's IPL and your impact player?
I think they finished low. I think especially losing your captain to start off, I think that's a big blow. I think some teams can cope without their captain, but I don't think KKR will be able to. I think eighth. I'll go eighth for me for KKR. I'd go low. And the impact player, I think Lithan Das. I feel if he gets some games, he's in very good form. He's been hitting it all over. He's played some terrific games against Ireland, against England. Even in the BPL, he had a really good season.
Yeah.
And even in the T20 World Cup, he played some good innings as well
Yeah.
last year. So I think he's very exciting, and I would love to see them just open with him and give him a chance to play. So if he plays, I think he'll be the star player. What about you? What do you think?
Well, Sheldon, I'm going to agree with you and say that they are not going to make it into the top four this time, just for the fact that, without Shreyas Iyer for the majority part of this IPL, I think it's going to be very tough for them, and the batting looks a bit weak. I mean, if they do get off to a great start with Rana, Venkatesh Iyer, Litton Das, Jagdishan, and everyone scoring, then yes, they can get it. But I think we got to be honest here and say that, KKR may not make the playoffs. And I'm going to say they're going to finish in the bottom half of the table, probably seventh, eighth, ninth, somewhere over there. Impact player for me for them this year, I'm going to back this guy. He's been scoring heavily in India. It's going to be Jagdishan. I feel this time around, I mean, he can keep wickets also really well. And I think KKR are going to be with him, stick with him for a long time because he's in some really good form there. He's playing really well. So I'm going to back him and say that this may be his season where everyone take notice of him. Do you want to add anything else, Sheldon, on the team?
Yeah, I think it's a big season for Nitish Rana, actually. He's probably very surprised he got captainship as well. And it's going to be a big start for him because there'll be low expectation, I think, with him starting as captain. So he kind of has like a free hit because if he starts well, Dill, and KKR get off to a roll, it's only up from there. So I think the start is very important for Nitish Rana. I'm sure he'll want runs as well. Because it's always easier to captain when you're scoring runs. But if he starts slow and then, there's pressure on him, then there'll be a lot, on him and his batting and his captaincy. Then it becomes a struggle. So I think the start will be very important. And he'll want to start off well with the bat and his captaincy.
Absolutely right, Sheldon. Spot on there, Sheldon, giving us those valuable inputs there. Nitish Rana will want to be in the best of form this come this IPL 2023. Well, that's from us, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like the video, do hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. And let us know in the comment section where you think KKR is going to finish. Stay tuned for more updates from us. Thank you so much.